9,
8. Come on,
7,
count down with me,
6,
folks.
5,
Let's make it
4,
count.
3,
Double trouble.
2,
Wow.
1,
Here we go.
0. Ignition.
All right.
Liftoff.
All systems go. All Vaughn systems. Here we go, amigos. Hold on to your hats. We're off. Get ready. Hold on. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name. Come on. Get up. Let's go. Welcome, amigos. Welcome to the show with no name. We are back, baby. We are back for another exciting season. It's our 15th season on the air. Can you believe that? And the show has continued to evolve. Now you can join us every day live on YouTube. You can listen to us on every single podcast platform. And let me start off by saying we missed you. I think I can speak on behalf of all of us over at Vaughn. Whether we're in Santander, Bilbao, Valencia, Valladolid, Barcelona, Zaragoza, Vigo, and of course Madrid. Well, those are the places where we have our centers. But wherever you're tuning in from, thank you. Thank you so much for learning and laughing with us here on Vaughn Radio. I know you guys are in good hands because you had my buddy Fitz and his program, No Excuses. What better way to warm up? Calentar motores. What better way to warm up for the show with no name than a 1-hour session with the one and only Fitz? Well, folks, I missed you. Yes, I did. I thought about you guys sometimes when I was on the beach or at the amusement park, Parque de Atracciones. Well, hey, I enjoy being with you guys. So I missed you. And I'm sure it's a mutual feeling as well. I hope you guys missed me. Not too much, but just remember there's tons of content available. We were playing podcasts all summer long. And speaking of podcasts, you've got a brand new episode of FYI, my self-produced podcast, which was also taking a little pause this summer. And this is an episode on Amazon, not the Amazon. Get ready for an amazing adventure into Amazon. No, not the Amazon rainforest. I mean Amazon, the all-encompassing entity that has changed the way people shop forever. We'll discover tons of fun facts, its origin story, and even delve into this company's deepest, darkest secrets. Who is it? It must be the delivery guy. We'll unpack Amazon on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
You got it. That's right, folks. Wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts, you can pick up FYI. We've got a brand spanking new episode. It just came out on Friday. Remember, you get an episode every Friday on a different topic. We started off with pronunciation with my friend Tanya from the United States, from the New Orleans area. She lives in Washington now, and she gives us some really wonderful tips on pronunciation. So make sure you guys check out those episodes. And remember, I'm always releasing bonus episodes as well. And folks, as you just heard me say, I think it's a milestone. A milestone is una hazaña, un contador. I think you would say un cuenta kilómetro. I don't know. I've heard it said many ways. In English, it's a milestone, and that is 15 years on the air. And my daughter Lara gave me a hand. Let's see how she did.
What's up, folks? We are back, baby. Show no name. It's been in there for 15 years. Thanks to you. You watch Show No Namers? Oh yeah. For now 15 years. Hello, I'm a banana.
There you go, folks. Well, I asked her, I said, well, because I told her what to say. I was coaching her there. And then I said, well, honey, what do you want to say now? And she said, hello, I'm a banana. Well, we kept it in the script. Se quedó en el guión. So thank you to each and every one of you guys, because you don't reach 15 years on the air. You don't reach 15 years on the air if people don't listen to you, if people don't spread the word. So thank you. Show with No Namers everywhere. Oh, and a special thanks to our amigos on iVox. Recently, they did a write-up. Another way of saying an article is a write-up. And they did a write-up on some of the best podcasts to learn English. And they included FYI. So thank you, iVox. And guys, we've got tons of surprises today and every day, as always, but we're bringing back an old section, but it's a new twist on an old section. Let's see if you guys remember it. The section's called Question of the Week.
Question of the Week.
That's right. Charge es lo que decimos cuando oímos eso. This is Question of the Week, my amigos. And Question of the Week was a section we used to do where you guys would write to me and I would read your answers on the air on a Friday. So we would launch a question on a Monday. And on a Friday, that gives you more than enough time, right? Much more than enough time. You have 4 full days to send me an audio note. And you want to keep it at around a minute. Don't get crazy, because then if we have so many that are so long, then obviously we'll get lost in that. And just remember, this is a variety show where we have a lot of sections that we cover. But I want to hear from you guys. That's why I brought this section back. I thought this was a way to give you guys a voice here on the show, and we can hear from you every Friday. So the way it works is I will tell you the question of each week on a Monday, such as today. I will remind you throughout the week. And on Friday, we'll hear your audio notes. We'll hear your answers. Tell me what you guys think. I'd love for all of you to participate. I mean, that's going to be the main way I gauge it. To gauge is to measure. And it's going to be if there's a lot of participation. If there isn't, then we won't do the section. But again, this is an opportunity for you to speak and me to help you, and, well, to be able to talk about all kinds of different things that may come up. So the question of the week, I think we need a drum roll over here because this is our first one. All right. And remember, the way to answer this is you can send me an email, a voice note, okay, on your phone. It's pretty simple these days. I don't think it's too difficult. Try, make sure you're not in your bathroom and there's a big echo. Do it in a room with carpet, moqueta, or, a room where there's not a big echo, and speak clearly. And hello, Alberto. You don't want to put the phone in your mouth either. That's not what we're trying to do. But what I want you to do is for a minute, be able to talk about, well, really be able to answer the question that I pose every week. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll hear from you on Friday. The question is, and I thought, let's start big. Let's start with some soul searching. And soul searching is mirar dentro de tu alma, right? Soul searching, to search deep within your soul, buscar lo que realmente piensas, right? And here it is. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? And then the next thing is, why don't you do it today? Or why don't you start today? So it's kind of a two-part question. Keep it at a minute. That's part of the skill here, parte de lo que estamos practicando. Ser concisos también, no solo, pero luego haría esto. No. What is your point? What do you want to say? So here is your question. Send them to me before Friday. If you send them to me on Friday, I can't guarantee they're going to be on the show because Friday mornings I have class many times before this show. So I need you guys to be timely with when you send them to me, okay? And so you can send them to, write this down. This is my email. It's Alonso, o sea, dos A's, Alonso@grupovon.com. And as I said, we would love to hear from each and every one of you. I know it. I'm sure I speak on behalf of all of you. How nice would it be to hear Laura's voice or Kubla's voice or, any of our amazing show with no namers. So this Friday, send it in before, but we will hear from you guys. And the question is, if you could change one thing about yourself, I didn't say physically, psychologically, I just said one thing about yourself, what would it be? And this is a tough question, okay? You have to really, as I said, look at yourself and say, okay, what do I want to change? And why don't you start today? Right? Because that's the next question is, okay, well, you already know that you want to change. Now, some things are, well, I want to live in a bigger home. Well, why don't you start today? Well, I have to start saving money, and that's easier said than done, which I get too. But this is your question, folks. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? And why don't you start today? All right, that question we'll hear from you guys on Friday. Send them to my email before Friday. And folks, it's time for another section, our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on, pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos, your pop quiz. Today, it's coming out of my latest book. This book is The Shit, which is available now wherever fine books are sold. You can pick it up over at our Von Tienda. You can go in person in Santander, Bilbao, Valencia, Valladolid, Barcelona, Zaragoza, Vigo, and of course, in Madrid. And you can pick up your own copy, or you can get it in the mail. That's up to you. You can even get it on Amazon. Our website, which is kind of what you're looking for, because we've got something for everybody, that's vontienda.com. That's for materials. Grupo Von for anything else, so courses and other amazing activities we have for the fall, el otoño. And if you're traditional and you'd like to maybe drop us a line, you'd like to call us, that's 911-385831. So I've gotten some examples today from my latest book. Why not? Why not? And well, this is, the book is called This Book is the Shit. I'm sure many of you guys know that. Oh, wait. I'm missing something. Maybe it's vitamin D, or maybe it's vitamin B. That's right. Vitamin beet. Ahí está. There's a beat. All right. So We're going to look at 3 idiomatic expressions that use the word shit. That's right. Now, if you're participating live, I'm going to ask you to use the $ for the S, just so they don't censor your comments. You know what I mean? Or use the exclamation point for the I, for example. Be creative. So in this book, there are many, many chapters. This book is the shit. But every 3 or 4 chapters, you get something that's called a break, un descanso, which is more like a game or, a fun little break, a shorter section, which is lighthearted. For example, our first break is called What the is the title. That's where we look at badly translated movie titles. So we can learn English by playing that game. Then in break 2, we've got canciones que no dicen lo que creías. So these are songs that you thought meant something, but they mean something else. Such as, I'll be watching you every breath you take. It's about a stalker, folks. That's right. Break 3. We try and get into the verb to get. We try and get it. Captarlo. Very useful chapter, that one. A little break more than a chapter. Number 4, songs that kick the dictionary. No se dice en inglés, but songs that butcher the language. And in that category, we've got songs like You Wasn't, which is something Eminem would say, but I wouldn't recommend you say that if you want to speak proper English. So those are songs that are grammatically incorrect. And then we've got break number 5, which if you have the book, that's the one we're going to look at today. Break number 5, which is our potty break. Nuestro descanso para ir al baño. Potty, P-O-T-T-Y. And this is where we look at the word shit and piss, and we show you that most of the time when you say the word shit or the word piss, it has nothing to do with urination or defecation, right? Good. Well, that's what that's all about. I'm not saying to be vulgar, but I do believe you need to know what each word means, because if somebody tells you you're the shit, you might get offended when really they're telling you you're awesome. And then the last break, there are 7 breaks. Break 6, this is as well as, in addition to the chapters. Break 6 is the F word. We teach you all the different uses of the word F, the F word. And then break 7, we have an emoji English quiz. What does that mean? That means we've put together a couple idiomatic expressions with using emojis, and you got to guess which one they are. It sounds like a fun book. It is. This book is the shit. All right. So all 3 of these idiomatic expressions I'm asking you about right now have to have the word shit in them. Again, be creative so you don't get censored. Okay. No sé nada, cero patatero sobre la ingeniería. Give me all 3 together. Dame las 3 juntas, si no nos liamos a comentarios. Okay, so, no sé nada, cero, o sea, viene a decir cero, nada de nada, sobre la ingeniería. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, I'm really scared. A way of saying I'm petrified. I'm really scared, right? But using the word shit. Again, I don't urge anybody to be vulgar, but you need to know these expressions because they're pretty common. And the last one, how would you tell somebody you were extremely drunk? Using the word shit. So you've got 3 idiomatic expressions using the word shit, very common ones as well. No sé nada de nada sobre la ingeniería. That's number 1. Number 2, estoy cagado. Right? That would be a good translation, literally. De miedo, right? And the other one, borrachísimo. Very, very drunk. All right, let's see what you guys had to say. And also, let's check in with our amazing amigos here in our virtual chat room. What's up, amigos? I missed you, and I missed your magic. All right, we've got Vero checking in. Vero says, morning, beautiful show with no namers, warriors. around the universe. We missed you. Missed you too, Vero, as always. And Vero has been here since the beginning. 15 years, I think, Vero. So our 15-year anniversary as friends. Let's see. Born to Iron Man. Born to Iron Man, I kept in touch with a bit this summer because he's in my curious community. As you guys know, I have a community of curious cats. Pájaros would be the translation. Curiosos. Born to Iron Man says, hey, what's up? Great to be with you again. Let's rock it. Born to Iron Man, that's the tude. That's the attitude. That's the tude. There's a sweet, sweet student, Chris Valrol. What's up, Chris? And she says, morning, Alberto and mates. I missed you. Chris, missed you too. And I'm sure when Chris says that, and Born to Iron Man says that, they're saying it to everybody, not just me. Kubla says, sup, good-natured chaps? Yeah, it's been a while, and maybe it takes me some time to learn the ropes. So would you bear with me? Thank you. Well, Kubla, if you bear with me. My wife said, oh, are you ready? I go, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready. You know what? Not so much the teaching and the script was ready. Ya preparé el guión, so I was ready. But like the technical stuff, as you guys know, I produce the show live when we're streaming. So I was like, oh, no. But hey, let's not jinx it. No vamos a gafarlo. To jinx. Buena palabra para apalabrados, porque tiene J y X. Jinx. J-I-N-X. Born to Iron Man says, Alberto with no cap. Is this a new look in the house? No, not so much. I think it's just hot. It's still summer, kind of, right? So for me, I'm not wearing a hat right now because it's hot. But yes, as far as my buzz cut, mi corte de pelo, my buzz cut, as we call it, yeah, I got to keep cool in the summer. And then you know what? My daughter told me, not once, not twice, not 50 times, probably 1,000 times since I shaved it down, Papi, you're so handsome. Papi, you're so handsome. Papi, and she means it. Like she looks at me and says it out of nowhere. And I'm like, wow, okay, I'm keeping my hair like this. So, yeah, hey, it's easier too. You don't have to do anything. And I save money on haircuts because I do it myself. My wife just checks those neck hairs. I love what you call them in Spanish, los abuelillos. You guys really do have a sense of humor. There's Laura, lovely, lovely Laura. She says, good morning, amazing show with no namers. It's great to be back and to see so many of you back. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Kubla says, exactly. Is that you, congenial teach? I hardly recognize you without any headwear. Ha, ha, ha. Very funny, guys. You know you're not supposed to comment on people's physical, right? I'm joking. I don't get offended. But I've had people say, like, on my comments on Facebook and stuff like that, like, estás más gordo. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck your mother. Pardon my French, pero es lo que me apetece decir. I'm like, all right, let's see a picture of you, smartass. A ver, una foto tuya. I don't get offended. I just think it's funny. But I try not to comment on people's physical, but it's obvious I look a bit different. What I am surprised is nobody's commenting on my neon lights over here. I've always wanted to see my name in lights. And now I've got my name in lights over here. Alberto Alonso. If you want to see the show, you can tune in every day on YouTube, also on Twitter and Facebook. So there you go, my amigos. But if not, you can always listen to the show live on Vaughn Radio, on the app. You can also download the show on all the different podcast platforms out there. Now, guys, what I'm realizing is time is just whizzing by over here, and we've got to go to our first commercial break. I can't believe it. Oh, my God. Was that the first part of the show already? Jeez Louise. All right, well, folks, you know how this works. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. We've got our Say What soundbite, we've got our spelling bee, and so much more up ahead. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting. Oh, yeah. That's right, amigos. English is exciting here on Vaughn Radio. Exciting stuff. And we're here for part 2. Just a quick reminder, after today's show, you've got Ximena Holiday and her program, Test Your English. That's right, Test Your English, where she puts you and Nacho to the test. Our super radio technician, Nacho. A shout out to Nacho and Tino and everybody in the Vaughn Radio crew. Tosh Pasqua, Rob and Andy, Dave Boyce, Kyle Miller, Jules Linares. Don't forget to download our free app, and you'll never ever miss an episode of your favorite programs on Vaughn Radio. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Oh yeah, definitely follow us on social media, because that gives you the 360-degree experience, which I think that's what everybody's looking for. You know, not just listening to a radio show or watching the live stream, but getting follow-up content. So that said, I shared something this past week. I don't even remember when I share things. Either way, in my curious community, you get access to all my posts that go on social media beforehand, antes de tiempo. So some of you have seen this a while ago, or heard it, I should say. Well, either way, these are some of the trickiest words in the English language. I want you guys to listen. You can find the post, if you'd like to follow along, you can find the post on my social media. All right, here we go with some really confusing words. English is hard. The bandage was wound around the wound. The farm was used to produce produce. The dump was so full, it had to refuse refuse. We polish Polish furniture. He could lead if he would get the lead out. The man decided to desert his dessert in the desert. Since there is no time like the present, he thought it was time to present the present. A bass was painted on the bass drum. When shot at, the dove dove into the bushes. I did not object to the object. The insurance for the invalid was invalid. There was a row among the oarsmen about how to row. They were too close to the door to close it. Now you try. Wow. All right. Those are difficult ones, but I'm telling you, if you can figure out those words, those are those tough words like bass and bass that look the same but are pronounced differently. I would say there's probably about 30 or 40 of them. And I posted some the other day. Here, let me share it. If you guys are in the group with us now, I'm going to copy the link so you can go and do it along with us. Let me go over to the chat and I'm going to play it again now, but because I want you guys to follow along. And I want you to not only follow along, but I also want you to see if you can say these sentences aloud. So let me give you the words too. So the first word is wound, enredado, around the wound, herida. The second one, the farm was used to produce, producir, produce. Produce is fresh stuff like eggs and lettuce, tomato, cosas comestibles, pero fresco, right? The dump was so full it had to refuse, decir que no, rechazar, refuse, basura. Again, these are spelled the same. We polish Polish furniture. If he could lead, liderar, ser el líder del grupo, if he could get the lead out, lead es plomo, pero esto es una expresión que significa darse un poco de prisa, no ser tan vago, sacar el plomo que tiene dentro, to get the lead out. So lead and lead. Then we've got the man decided to desert his dessert in the desert. La palabra desert, desertar, se pronuncia igual que dessert postre, aunque dessert postre tiene dos S y el otro se escribe como desierto. So that's an interesting one, depending on whether it's the verb to desert or whether we're talking about desert. And then dessert, which has two S's, which is it's a very confusing thing. That's why we're looking at them. This one's pretty easy. To present the present. No? A bass was painted on the bass drum. Okay, pintaron una lubina en el boom, boom, en el batería, el bajo. We shot at the dove that dove into the bushes. Dove, paloma, dove, el pasado de dive, zambullirse, tirarse de cabeza. I did not object to the object, right? I did not complain and say, no, I object. I did not object to the object. The insurance for the invalid, an invalid is somebody who can't move. They're bedridden, they're sick. So the insurance for the invalid was invalid. The 12th one, there was a row. Some Americans say row. Depende, es una pelea. Among the oarsmen, de los remos, about how to row. You know that one from row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. And the last one is, they were too close to the door to close it. So I want you guys to go through the list. I just shared the link with you and try and say them along with me. English is hard. The bandage was wound around the wound. The farm was used to produce produce. The dump was so full, it had to refuse refuse. We polish Polish furniture. He could lead if he would get the lead out. The man decided to desert his dessert in the desert. Since there is no time like the present, he thought it was time to present the present. A bass was painted on the bass drum. When shot at, the dove dove into the bushes. I did not object to the object. The insurance for the invalid was invalid. There was a row among the oarsmen about how to row. They were too close to the door to close it. All right, guys, now you try. Ooh, sorry, I interrupted myself. How can you even do that? You've got it on my social media with the audio, so you can see which ones are tougher for you. And I've got another one coming soon. So we're going to tackle, in the next couple weeks, we are going to tackle these tricky words together. But you have to do your part. And before we check out our pop quiz, because we've got a lot of comments, we've got to check out our pop quiz answers that are shitty answers. Now, shitty sí que siempre es malo. I'm sure they're not shitty answers, but let's do this. Let's do today's Say What, and then we'll do that other stuff. Say what? What? Yeah, 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 yeah. Go, shorty. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Yeah. We gon' party like it's your birthday. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Say what sound bites on the show with no name. It's the Say What sound bites, driving your brain insane. Yeah, 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 hands up. Is this an English class or is this a party? Yeah. All right, amigos, the Say What soundbite is a part of the show where we're going to hear a famous person speaking. And what you guys have to do is tell me what you heard in your own words. Now, after the third or fourth listen, I want you to tell me the exact words that the person is using. But at first, I just want your feedback, your observations, obviously in your best English, guys. I want your best. All right? Is everybody ready? You're going to grab a pen, a notebook, or someplace where you can jot some things down, and hopefully you guys will be able to figure out today's Say What soundbite. Is everybody ready? Here's the Say What soundbite for the first time.
Ask me about being a father once, but 1,000 times. It's like, that's what happens, we have children. We get married and that, and some of us have children, And I think I said to you earlier, but I truly believe that we were entering the decade of promoting nihilism, man. And I wasn't adhering to the new script.
All right. Now that person sounds nothing like me, right? Nada como yo, pero en absoluto. I would say, I don't know. I'm asking you guys, though. I'm asking you your opinion. Okay, well, let me give it to you a second time. Remember, you're going to hear it a total of 4 times. So you're going to have 4 chances to write it down. And hopefully, more than one of you, a few of you, will be able to figure it out. All right, here's your Say What soundbite for the second time.
Ask me about being a father once, but 1,000 times. It's like, that's what happens, we have children. We get married and that, and some of us have children, And I think I said to you earlier, but I truly believe that we were entering the decade of promoting nihilism, man. And I wasn't adhering to the new script.
All right. There you go, folks. That is your Say What soundbite. We'll give you a minute to let that sink in. In the meantime, we've got to take a look. We've got some comments coming in. We've also got to check our pop quiz answers. All right, let's see. Who else is here in the group with us? Jesus. Oh. What's up, Jesus? He says, what a shave, my friend. Yeah, well, I didn't shave it down. It was just with the clippers. The clippers, bzz, la maquinilla, you call it, right? So, yeah, thanks, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's a compliment or... Nihad, what's up, Nihad? He says, good morning, Mr. Alberto and friends. I miss you. I missed you too, Nihad. I'm being serious. Of course, I enjoyed spending some downtime with my family. Some family was in visiting from the United States. Some friends visited as well. So my sister's coming in a couple weeks. So my mother was here. So it's been a really, for me, I had a wonderful summer just with family members. But since you guys are like family to me too, well, I was missing you guys. I wasn't missing the work thing, you know, getting up every morning and having to do 2 hours. You know, I liked waking up, and my biggest decision would be, where should we go for dinner? Should we do Mexican tonight or Japanese? Life is good when that's your biggest decision of the day. I needed it. I don't know about you guys, but I needed it. There's Leo. What's up, Leo? He says, hello, friends. I am pleased as punch. Wow. Encantadísimo. Great expression, Leo. Starting off strong. Hello, friends. I am pleased as punch to be back at school with all of you. My batteries are fully charged. Let's enjoy the show. All right. I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying it and learning. We already looked at some really tricky words. Very valuable lesson there. All right. Let's look at this shitty lesson. It's not shitty. It's a good lesson. Again, I don't want you to go around using vulgarities, but do I think you need to know them? Sure. Of course. You got to recognize them, be familiar with them. Let's see. Kubla says, the first one is, no sé ni papa, cero patatero sobre la ingeniería. I don't know shit about engineering. Great job. You can also add jack shit. I don't know jack shit. So I don't know shit, or I don't know jack shit about something. It's nada de nada. Cero, cero. So I don't know jack shit, or I don't know shit about engineering. Good. The second one, I'm shitting my pants. It's not the one I had in the book, but it's correct, Kubla. I'm shitting my pants here. And the last one, me emborraché muchísimo. I got shit-faced last night. Nice job. Excellent job. Let's see, Chris Valrol taking a stab at our shit translations. Chris says, I don't know jack shit about engineering. Excellent job, Chris, with that jack in there. Then she says, height places. Well, careful. Height is a noun. So we would have to say high places, sitios altos. High places make me shitting bricks. Well, that's the expression. The only thing is, make me shit bricks. Sin el ing, Chris Valrol. So high places make me shit bricks. And then the last one, my friend was shit-faced at the celebration. Great job, Chris. Just a couple little adjustments there. Unos ajustes. That's right, folks. We're here taking a look at our pop quiz, also our Say What soundbite. Let's see. Who else have we got here? Laura. There's Laura. And Laura says, I know jack shit about engineering. Laura, excellent. I was going to tell you guys that. You can say, I don't know shit about it, or I know shit about it. O sea, ambos significan ni papa. So I know jack shit about engineering. The second one, you scared the shit out of me last night when you started knocking at the door so late. Excellent. So to shit bricks, that was the one in the book. I'm shitting bricks. Estoy asustadísimo. Okay? Me estoy cagando. I'm shitting bricks. Okay? Also, something scares the shit out of you. If you want to make it less vulgar, you can say, oh my God, you scared the crap out of me. You scared the crap out of me. You scared the bejesus out of me. Did you know that one? I'm not totally native, eh? And she got the third one. He was shit-faced at the party. Nice job. Nice job, all of you. All right, Kubla taking a stab at today's Say What soundbite. And let's see what Kubla got in the Say What soundbite. He says, it sounded like a British performer discussing his personal life regarding a new endeavor in showbiz. All right. You're right. British and endeavors. Those are things that we do. It's a great word, Kubla. Endeavor. It's the name of one of the shuttles, too. The shuttles, los lanzadores que van al espacio, espaciales. Endeavor, esfuerzo, empeño. Endeavor. Great. Leo says he sounds like a Brit who belongs to the Brotherhood of Herod, since what I understand is that he would not like to have children. He is not joining that script. Okay. All right. Well, folks, it's kind of the opposite, Leo. Because he said, all right, I'm not going to get into it too much, but you guys did a wonderful job. But I think he's saying that, you know, he wants the family. I don't know. Hey, we'll look at it. We'll analyze it a little bit together. But right now, we need to move on. I can't believe how fast time flies by here on the show with no name. But since we've got so much to do, let's kick off today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. It is our Spelling Bee. That's right, this is a section of the show where I spell some words for you, and hopefully you guys can jot them down. And the reason I started this section is I realized that a lot of people had difficulty not only, you know, writing down a word I spelt for them or an email address, but also, you know, understanding them, because there would be confusion with the A and the E and the I and the J and the G. So I wanted to get that problem out of the way, quitarlo de medio. So that's why we do our Spelling Bee. The first round, I'm telling you, I am relentless, implacable. The second round, I'm really, really nice, and I go at a very good speed. Also, we've got Chris Valrol participating in the Say What soundbite, and she says, I heard a young man, maybe British, talking about matching personal life and work. There you go. That work, vosotros le llamáis compensación auditoria. I don't know what you call it. We call it work-life balance. Ese equilibrio entre trabajar, porque unless you're rich, you have to work. And also, you know, being with your family and being a present father or a present mother. And I don't mean physical presence, because anybody can be in the same room as you. We all know with phones now, you could be at the same table as somebody and not feel like you're very important, right? That's pretty sad. But we're not here to talk about what's sad, my amigos. We're here to do our Spelling Bee. And this is round one. Round one, here we go. These will be capitalized because they are proper nouns. Proper nouns. Here we go. The first one is CANARSIE space POL. The second one is RUFFLE space BAR. The third one is GOVERNORS space ISLAND. The fourth one is SHOOTERS space ISLAND. The fifth one is BROAD space CHANNEL. And the last one is ISLE space OF space MEADOWS. Whoa, that I gotta be honest there. That was not an easy one. Let me catch my breath.
Nunca he entendido por qué a la gente le hacía gracia el personaje de Spider Cerdo de la película de los Simpsons. Es que no tiene gracia.
¿Cuál dice? ¿Spider-Ham?
Spider-Ham,
Es graciosísimo en inglés.
Claro, tiene todo el sentido. Es como la araña jamón.
Eso es.
Claro, tiene sentido que sea un cerdo. Y su identidad secreta es
Peter Porker en vez de Peter Parker.
Ah, claro, tiene sentido. Porker, que es como...
Porker es un gordito y viene de pork, que es cerdo.
Ah, tiene todo el sentido del mundo. Así da gusto aprender con This Book is the Shit, el tercer libro de Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
No te pierdas nuestro método Milky. Vas a aprender un montón porque en realidad ya lo sabías todo.
That's right, folks. This book is the shit where English is exciting, just like the show with no name. All right, well, folks, it looks like we might have a winner here. Let me just check it really quickly. Freaking believable. Give it up for Born to Iron Man. He's back. Born to Iron Man. You have dotted your I's. You have crossed your T's, and wow, what a triumphant return. All right, now I'm going to repeat it here a second time. This time I'm going to be nice. Folks, this is round 2 of today's Spelling Bee. The first one is CANARSIE space POL. The second one is RUFFLE space BAR. Excuse me, I'll do that one again. BAR. I made the A sound weird. The third one is GOVERNORS space ISLAND. The fourth one is SHOOTERS space ISLAND. The fifth one, BROAD space CHANNEL. And the last one is ISLE space OF space MEADOWS. Folks, we're going to come back and take a look at our spelling bee. We've also got to listen to our Say What soundbite again. We've got movies, we've got homophones, we've got everything. Coming soon. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. What am I going to say? Stick around. righty, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. That's right, amigos. It's the show with no name, and we are back, baby. Back for the second half of today's show. What? We already went through an hour? Are you freaking serious? Well, don't worry, folks. You've got tons of amazing programs once this show is over. Also, remember to stop by our website. It's grupovon.com. You've also got our online bookshop, vontienda.com. Or you can stop by and visit us in any of our centers in Santander, Bilbao, Valencia, Valladolid, Barcelona, Zaragoza, Vigo, and Madrid. And if you can't make it to one of our centers, go to our website, grupovon.com. And if you're following on social media, you'll get tons of amazing content as well to keep you content. Hey, we were looking at those words before. There's another one to add to the list. I hope you're content with the content. I hope you're content with the content. We're always playing with words here, especially in our section called Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophone rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. Show with no name. Show with no name. Show it no.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the Show with No Name. I'm going to give you two words. I want you to tell me what the words are, and then I want you to tell me if these two words sound exactly the same or not. All right, amigos. Now, the way this works is, as always, I don't just want you to give me the words. I want you to tell me if they sound the same as well, and use a complete sentence. It's as easy as going there and bam, or it's las palabras como una. It's and they sound the same. Whatever. That's in your hands how you do it. Just make sure you use a full sentence. The first word is the part of your head that, you know, where your mouth is and your nose and your eyes, the front part of your head. It also means to look at something, right? It means also to accept reality, enfrentar, afrontar. So cara, rostro, enfrentar, afrontar. Okay, there's your first word in today's homophone section. The second word I want you to give me is, give me 1 second, let me check it in Spanish, desconcertar, perturbar. In English, it's to bother. Right? It doesn't bother me. Doesn't, really bother me at all. Okay? Bother, which is molestar, which is not molest. Molest is acosar sexualmente. So careful with those false friends out there as well. The first word, enfrentarse a algo, mirar algo. The other word is desconcertar. So how would you say, su cara no me desconcierta? Por ejemplo, would those two words sound the same in that sentence? All right, well, we'll see what you guys thought. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite, folks. This is the third listen of today's Say What soundbite. Please write down what you hear.
Ask me about being a father once, but 1,000 times. It's like, that's what happens, we have children. We get married and that, and some of us have children, And I think I said to you earlier, but I truly believe that we were entering the decade of promoting nihilism, man. And I wasn't adhering to the new script.
All right, there you go, folks. That's the third listen of today's Say What soundbite. All right. Also, what else do we have to do here? So we've got the Say What soundbite. We've got homophones. We got to finish our spelling bee as well, which I see Chris Valrol. Nice job on the spelling bee. Born to Iron Man and Chris Valrol. And we're going to take a look at those spelling bee words in just a moment. But first, let's look at our homophones. The first person to participate is Kubla. And Kubla, those are the correct words. And he says they don't sound the same. All right, let's see if your classmates agree with you. Chris Valrol says and are not homophones. So Chris agrees. What about Vero? Vero says they're not homophones. Leonardo says they're not homophones. Born to Iron Man says they don't sound the same. So it's unanimous. Well, let me just say the words. The first one is face. Es una S pura y dura. Let me see your face. You're going to have to face it. Enfrentarte a ello. La expresión que usamos es face the music. Sooner or later, you're going to have to face the music. So just face it. Face. Real easy, I think. It's a word most people know. Face. Okay, and the second one, lo usaría como lo usaría normalmente. Eso no me desconcierta, no me molesta a mí. That doesn't faze me. So his face doesn't faze me. Again, his face doesn't faze me. Two things there. Face, the A sound is shorter. Face. Hey, it's quick. Face. I see your face. Hey, you don't stop on it. No say you don't hold it. That vowel sound. And the other one, phase. Se aguanta un poco más la A, phase, y no suena S, suena Z americana. So his face, dilo conmigo, por favor. Esto es muy importante en esta sección. His face doesn't faze me. His face doesn't faze me. Excellent job, amigos. All right. And let's see, Kubla taking a stab at our Say What soundbite. Let's take a look here. Well, Kubla, the third or fourth or fifth word is wrong. So the good thing is you get one more chance. The rest looks about right. Well, there's another mistake at the end, a little one. But not bad, not bad. The good news, you have one more chance to get those words that seem pretty confusing. And that's what we're looking at right now in our homophones section. Confusing words. Vero says, what about phase? What about it? What is your question? You're asking me if it sounds like another one of these words? What about it? I don't know what you mean. What about it? Do you want me to talk about the word phase? Okay, I guess if you just say what about, I don't know what you mean exactly, but there's also a word phase, which is una fase, which sounds like desconcertar. So the word F-A-Z-E and the word P-H-A-S-E sound exactly the same. And face, the one we looked at, sounds nothing like those other two words. So excellent job once again. All right, and let's check our spelling bee answers really quickly over here. Now, these were New York islands. That's right. If you're familiar with New York City, it is just a lot of islands, a lot of little islands. Some of them are even uninhabited, which is kind of interesting because you think, oh, it's one of the most populated places in the world. Yeah, and then there are some empty islands around it. But it's interesting. It's really, really interesting if you start to look into this, because obviously everybody knows Manhattan Island. That's probably without a doubt, the most popular one, Manhattan Island. All right. Well, the reason I chose these is because Henry Hudson, ring a bell? Henry Hudson arrived on Manhattan Island today, and he met the indigenous people who were living there at the time. This was in 1609. And as many of you guys know, the Hudson River is the river on the west side of Manhattan. On the east side, let's test your New York City trivia here. What is the river called on the east side of Manhattan? The East River. Hey, we're pretty pragmatic people. The Hudson River versus the East River. And supposedly, this is the tale, Manhattan Island was sold for about $24 worth of beads and little trinkets. Trinkets son como cositas. So that's pretty interesting if you ask me. But yes, my amigos, you know it. These are the islands, lesser known islands. The first one is called Canarsie Pole. And Canarsie, if you live in New York, you're familiar with that. Canarsie is an area. And one of the most dangerous approaches at JFK Airport, una de las llegadas de aviones más peligrosas se llama the Canarsie Approach. And it's because you go through the Canarsie neighborhood. But it's pretty dangerous. A lot of traffic, buildings, all that kind of stuff. If you want to check it out, it's called the Canarsie Approach. And if you like aviation, it's going right into JFK. So that's Canarsie Pole, a small island located in Jamaica Bay. No, not Montego, Jamaica, baby, wanna take it to Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama, to Key Largo, Montego, baby. No. We've got our own Jamaica and Queens. I swear to God. I used to, tell my girlfriend back home a joke. I used to say, I'm going to take you to Jamaica for your birthday. And she said, really? I go, yeah, Queens. I know this little diner. They got a 2-for-1 early bird special. And then she would say, don't be a cheapskate. But also when you're living in New York City and everything's just so expensive, you're living on a shoestring budget, as we say. So yes, this is a small little island. It can be reached by, from a kayak, which is kind of interesting. And it's not inhabited by people, but people go there to do sport and stuff like that. Some of these islands are off limits. You're not allowed on them. Some of them used to be places where they kept typhoid and other patients with other problems. There's a woman, a famous New York legend called Typhoid Mary. And she was an Irish woman who was a chef. She was a cook for many families. And she didn't have any symptoms, but she had typhoid. And everybody, all the families that she worked for started getting typhoid. So they put her on this island. Really interesting stories. And there are even, I don't want to get into too many gory details, but there are even babies who did not survive the birthing process. And many of them are buried on, I believe it's, I forget the name of the island, Little Brother Island or something like that, or Little Brother could be, or Brother Island. Either way, once you start looking at the islands around New York City, you're going to open up a can of worms. You're going to be La Caja de Pandora. It's pretty crazy. Some of them were military bases, such as Governor's Island, which is our third one on the list. But let's go in order. The second one is called Ruffle Bar. And Ruffle, I'm sure you guys know if you've had those potato chips. Ruffles are also something on a dress, right? Ruffles, ondulado, when things aren't flat, but they're like wavy is the word I would use. So that one is called Ruffle Bar. It is the largest island in Jamaica Bay, and it's very swampy. Swampy is like muddy, pantano, right? It's very muddy, as many of these are. Now, what's great about that kind of, watery, muddy area, what we call wetlands, it's great for birds and animals, right? The only problem is what happens when you get birds at the end of a runway, which is the case. LaGuardia Airport, the end of the runway at LaGuardia Airport is Rikers Island, which is a very famous, infamous jail. And the end of the runway at JFK is a bird sanctuary. So you've got animals everywhere. Okay, I'll stop. Not funny. So we've got Canarsie Pole, Ruffle Bar. I got to tell you something. If you ask most Americans, even New Yorkers, about these islands, most have never heard of them, right? I would say that's not true, except for the third one is pretty well known, Governor's Island. All right. And this is an island you can see when you're standing on the southern tip of Manhattan, what we call Battery Park. And if you look to the right, you can see Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. And if you look to the left, you can see Governor's Island. And that was a historic fort, una fuerte histórico. Lots of cool history and some dark history. Then we've got Shooter's Island. That name scares me quite a bit. But Shooter's Island was used exactly as it sounds for hunting. It was an island they would bring animals on board and they would hunt on that island. So again, some of these are closed, some are open. The next one, Broad Channel. Makes sense. Canal amplio, no? Broad Channel. And this is technically the border between Queens, right? Is it the border? No. I read it wrong. Excuse me. This is technically Queens. It's located in Queens. Again, if most people won't even know about these, right? They'll know, oh yeah, there's a million islands over there. The next one and last one is the Isle, which is another way of saying island. The Isle of Meadows. And, the only species you'll find on that island are bird species, de pájaros. As I said before, it is a bird sanctuary, the Isle of Meadows. And a meadow, that's an interesting word. So we're looking at some geographical terms here. An isle is another way to say a meadow. And is another way to say, what was I saying? And isle is another way to say island. I'm getting confused here. And a meadow is a prairie. Un prado, una pradera, right? That would be those words. So there you go, my amigos, celebrating the fact that Henry Hudson arrived on Manhattan Island today in 1609. We took a look at some lesser known islands. All right, well, folks, we've got to move on. Right now, it's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie only on the Show with No Name. All right, let's see what we've got here. A couple comments. Vero says, it homophones with face or phase? I always get confused. All right, careful, Vero. Oz doesn't mean anything in English, and I always get confused, right? Or I always mix them up. Si quieres decir. So as I think I answered this question, but I'll say it again just in case. Face doesn't sound like phase, fase o desconcertar. So cara no suena como los otros dos. Is that clear? Natalia, my sister, there she is. My sister's joining us from Spain, by the way. Normally it's too early for her to tune in, and she's in Spain right now. And she says, I like the fun facts about New York. Awesome. Glad to have you on board, Natalia. All right, here we go, my amigos, with today's Name That Movie. I'm going to give you the trailer here, and then I want you guys to see if you recognize these movies over here. All right? Well, this movie, I should say, not these movies. Okay, here we go. Let me just get ready here. Let me get in character. Let me see if I've got any sound effects I can use here. Nope, I don't have any sound effects over here. Nope. Not the ones I was looking for. All right, well, you know what? We can put in some rain. There we go. In the waning days of the American Civil War, a wounded soldier embarks on a perilous journey back home to blank mountain. I won't tell you the name of the mountain for a reason. To blank mountain, North Carolina, to reunite with his sweetheart. Oh, that's nice. The birds are chirping. See, I've got some special effects ready. So yeah, in the waning days of the American Civil War, and waning. I don't know how to say this in Spanish. Let's look it up. Wane. Declinando, declive, menguando, right? So in the waning days, W-A-N-E, okay? In the waning days of the American Civil War, a wounded soldier, we looked at that word before, they wound a bandage around the wound. Look at that. Embarks on a perilous journey. And I know embark sounds like embarcar, right? But it also means embarcarse como en un proyecto, empezar, right? To embark on an amazing journey. And in this case, it's not an amazing journey, it's a perilous journey. A perilous danger. So perilous is another way of saying dangerous. Perilous journey back home to mountain. I can't tell you because I'll tell you the name of the movie there. North Carolina. So the place is called Mountain, North Carolina, to reunite with his sweetheart. Oh, that's so nice. I like it. I hope it has a happy ending. All right, let's see who's got it over here. Kubla says it's their last full measure, the final days of the Civil War. I don't know. I don't. Maybe that's the Spanish translation, Kubla. In English, Chris Valrol, you got it. It's Cold Mountain. That's right. Cold Mountain. Or as we pronounce it in the United States, mountain. Cold Mountain. Now, you can say mountain, but Americans, we say mountain. And this is a movie starring Jude Law, Nicole Kidman, Renee Zellweger. Can you pronounce her name? Renee Zellweger? I don't think she can pronounce it either. And the movie came out in the year 2003. 2003. And Leo making jokes. He goes, bravo, Chris. I can tell you are not cold, but hot. I love it. All right, let's take a look at the scene I've chosen. Inman says, you are all that keeps me from sliding into some dark place. Eres lo único que me frena de entrar en un sitio muy oscuro. Like in their mind, they're saying. And to slide is deslizar, caer en un sitio muy oscuro. Slide, slid, irregular verb. And then Ada says, how did I keep you? We barely knew each other. Apenas nos conocimos. It was a few moments. Si solo fue unos momentos. And Inman says, 1,000 moments. They're like a bag of tiny diamonds, not diamonds, diamonds. La A no la pronunciamos. Of tiny diamonds. Don't matter if they're real or things I made up. Da igual si son cosas reales o cosas que me he inventado. The shape of your neck, right? La forma de tu cuello. That's real. Eso es real. The way you felt under my hands when I pulled you to me. Como me tocaste debajo de las manos. You were plowing a field, she says. And to plow a field, I don't know how to say plow in Spanish. I'm learning some good words. Barredora, arar, labrar, rotura. I've heard labrar before. Okay, to plow. P-L-O-W, in British English, P-L-O-U-G-H. So you were plowing a field. And Inman says, you were carrying a tray. A tray is una bandeja. Tú llevabas una bandeja. And Ada says, you wouldn't come in. Tú no querías entrar. You wouldn't come in, right? And Inman says, no, I wouldn't go in. No entraría. And Ada says, so that's why I had to carry a tray. Y por eso tenía que llevar yo una bandeja. So I could come out to see you. Para que podía ir a verte. So it was all part of her plan. And then Inman says, that kiss, ese beso, that kiss, which I kissed every day of my walking. Todos los días que andaba. And Ada says, every day I was waiting, esperando, longing, añorando. I know you know the word long, largo, but also longing is añorando, longing to see your face. We looked at the word face, and we know it's not pronounced the same way as phase, two other words we looked at before. So yes, this is Cold Mountain. And by the way, Nicole Kidman, I didn't know this. I looked it up. Nicole Kidman did all of her own piano playing. So she learned to play the piano. She already knew, but she learned how to play these songs. So I think that's pretty incredible, amigos. Right now, we're off to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the fourth and final part of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to this, the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. I hope you guys are having fun. It's great to be back. My wife just asked me, she says, how's it going? How's the first show back going? And I said, awesome. Absolutely amazing. So thank you guys. It really is great to be back with all my amigos. Show with no namers. And all my amigos are back today as well. So you're going to have fresh new shows. Just download our free app. Also, you can listen to our shows wherever you listen to podcasts. Apple, iVoox, Spotify. This way you've got tons of content to surround yourself with English, to immerse yourself in English every single day, to live your life in English. It's never been easier. No way, amigos. So I hope you're ready for some more challenges. We've got a lot of challenges up ahead here on the show. We've already learned so much, and we've got so much left to learn. So, we're going to get right into a section where we look at words with double meanings. I think you know the name of the section. It's called Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble only on the Show with No Name. And as always, this is a part of the show where we are learning and laughing and having some fun, as we always do. And folks, I really can't believe how fast the show is going by today, because it's been over a month, almost not 2 months, but I'd say about a month and a half since I was here on the air with you guys. And it was nice to get some R&R, some rest and relaxation, but it's also great to be back. So thank you for that, my amigos. Here's your Double Trouble. Okay? A triple trouble. Triple trouble today. Did I say double? I meant triple trouble. You have to use the same word 3 times. Patricio, diminutivo de Patricio. Okay? Patricio, te van a cachear. Date una palmadita en la espalda. There you go. You have to use the same word twice. Patricio en diminutivo. Diminutivo. By the way, a shout out to my student, Patricio. He's a great student. Lives in Murcia. So, Patricio, te van a cachear. Patricio diminutivo. Te van a cachear. Date una palmadita en la espalda. There's your triple trouble. I've also got to give you the Say What soundbite for the 4th and final time.
Ask me about being a father once, but 1,000 times. It's like, that's what happens, We have children. We get married and that, and some of us have children, And I think I said to you earlier, but I truly believe that we were entering the decade of promoting nihilism, man. And I wasn't adhering to the new script.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's your 4th and final listen. Kubla came close, but we don't want close. Close is okay in certain sections, but this section, we want everything to be perfect, as if it were a manuscript of what was said, right? So, all right, let's take a look at that triple trouble and see if anybody's gotten it. There's Jay Lima. Jay Lima says, hi, Double A. How's everything, Master? Great, Jay. Glad you could be back. It's a pleasure to have you back with us. All right, let's see. Kubla participating in the triple trouble. Let's see how he did here. He says, Pat, they're going to pat you. Pat yourself in the back. All right. You're missing one word, Kubla, and one of the prepositions is wrong. Well, the only preposition, I believe. The only preposition in there. So not bad. A worthy effort, I should say, but it's not perfect. It's not what we're looking for there. Okay, let's see. Leonardo's going to take a stab at it. He says, Pat, they are going to pat you down. Okay, Pat. That's short for Patrick or Patricia. Pat. They're going to pat you down. Now, to pat somebody is to touch them, but to pat them down, piénsalo, van de arriba abajo, kind of makes sense. To pat somebody down or to search somebody or to frisk somebody. Hay varias formas de decirlo. To search, to frisk, to pat down. Okay? So good job there, Leo. Pat, they're going to pat you down. Pat him on the back. Okay, pat, that would be dale una palmadita en la espalda. Pat him on the back. Pero ¿cómo dirías date a ti una palmadita? So, Leo, we're making progress here. We are, together, guys, we're on the right track here. Does anybody want to give it to me perfectly? Oh, and Leo, you got the right preposition. To pat somebody on the back. So on is the correct. Careful there, Kubla, those little nuances, those pesky prepositions. It's to pat somebody on the back. All right, so does anybody want to give it to me perfect here? I'm not asking too much here. So, Patricio, diminutivo, o Patricia, te van a cachear. Date una palmadita en la espalda. So the first part we said, pat. They're going to pat you down. So how we just got to say on the back. We already said on the back and pat. All right, let's see. Chris, pat. They're going to pat you down. Give yourself a pat on the back. Chris Valrol, give yourself a pat on the back. Excellent job in today's Triple Trouble. It wasn't easy, but folks, it's time for one of your favorite sections. It's You're Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking.
That's right, amigos. You're joking here on the show with no name. This is where we take a look at some punny jokes. I didn't say funny, I said punny. Son graciosos porque son un pun. Juego de palabras. Well, graciosos. You be the judge. The important thing, though, is that you get some English. You learn some English from these words, from these jokes, I should say. All right. Well, the other day, guys, I polled, to poll or to survey, hacer un sondeo. I polled FYIers and Show with No Namers to see what their favorite natural disaster was. So I did a poll, or I polled you guys to find out what your favorite natural disaster was. And it was the hurricane. Yeah. It blew the competition away. No. I polled FYIers, I polled my students to see what your favorite natural disaster was. And it was the hurricane. It blew the competition away. No. Well, a hurricane, a twister, what does it do? It blows, the wind blows really hard. But also to blow the competition away or to blow somebody away is deslumbrar, darle mil vueltas. Man, you blew me away with that. So it blew the competition away is les dio mil vueltas a la competencia. Pero también to blow away. Well, if you leave something in your house, in your yard, for example, and a hurricane comes through town, it's going to blow it away. I know. That joke was absolutely mind-blowing. All right. I got another one for you. Don't worry. What's the difference between a horse and the weather? What's the difference between a horse and the weather? Okay. One is rained up and the other rains down. One is rained up and the other rains down. No, did anybody get that one? No, come on, guys. I think it's a pretty funny one. What's the difference between a horse and the weather? All right, one is rained up. So the reins, if somebody says, take the reins, coge las riendas, it's spelled R-E-I-N. So one is reined up. Uno está arriendado, no? Está como atado. One is reined up, and the other one rains down. It's raining down on us. Rain, la segunda siendo lluvia, la primera siendo riendas. Take the reins. Eso es aguanta la lluvia o toma las riendas, depending. If you don't see it written, they sound the same. And there's a third word that sounds like that. Reign, el mandato. The king's reign was 30 years. So that was a tough one, guys. Esa fue bastante difícil, diría yo. What's the difference between a horse and the weather? One is reined up and the other rains down. Reined up, tied up, atado. All right, last one here. What do you call it when it rains chickens and ducks? Now, I know they told you guys that we say it's raining cats and dogs. We don't say that very often. FYI. You know, I've heard more non-native speakers say it than me, right? So we say it's pouring more than it's raining cats and dogs. Y hablando de piss, que vimos antes shit, piss, it's pissing down. Evidentemente es vulgar. So what do you call it when it rains chickens and ducks? Easy. We call that foul weather. No? Foul weather? Okay, all right, I'll explain it. Foul, F-O-U-L, es una, if you like soccer, es una falta. But if there's a foul smell or the weather is foul, it's bad. It's not good. Okay, piensa, una falta no es bueno. So this is, oh man, this is really foul weather we're having. F-O-U-L, que no es foul, foul. This is foul weather. You have a foul mouth. Hablas mal. Eres un mal hablado. You have a foul mouth, young man. So where's the joke? Well, another word that sounds like that, you've got F-O-U-L, which we just looked at, foul language, foul behavior, foul weather, but also foul, F-O-W-L, is poultry. Poultry, what is poultry? Chicken, duck, ave de coral, it says here. Fowl, F-O-W-L. So what happens when it rains chickens and ducks? You get foul weather. All right, guys, we've got to move on. I hope you like those jokes. But right now, it's time for famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And let's see if you guys know who's celebrating a birthday today. As always, I've given you some clues along the way. Por el camino. The first person was born in 1940. And his last name is Palma de la Mano, right? So in English, it's palm. But it's not in English. It's in Spanish. His last name. So I just told you his last name. I didn't mean to. I got a big mouth. All right. What does this guy do? Well, he's a director, producer, and screenwriter. He directed Carrie, Dressed to Kill, Scarface. I love that movie. The Untouchables, the 1996 Mission Impossible. He also did Blowout. Hey, we looked at that word blow today. Casualties of War, Carlitos Way, right? Carlitos Way, which is a great one as well with Al Pacino. Now, I imagine they gave these movies different names. I know El Precio del Poder, Scarface. Pues otra que es muy buena así, Carlitos Way, La Forma de Carlito. I don't know how you would call it. It came out in 1993. Either way, I'm a fan of this guy's movies. He made movies when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, a lot of movies. So I really got into his films, suspense, crime, psychological thrillers, stuff like that. And, you know, that's always fun, especially with all the reboots and crap you get today out there. You know, my wife and I, we wanted to go to the movies a couple weeks ago, and we literally said, we're not just going to go to see whatever. I mean, we want to go because we want to see a movie. But out of the 20 movies that were playing in the movies, que estaban en pantalla, that were playing at the movies, we didn't want to see a single one of them. And I said, I'm not going to go waste 40 euros plus, you know, popcorn and all that stuff to go see something we don't even want to see. And I feel like back in the day, like, I'm like, I want to see Back to the Future. And then after, I'm going to go see this one, Gremlins. And then you're like, whoa. I mean, it was just hit after hit. And he was what was called the generation of new Hollywood directors. So Hollywood got really popular. Its heyday was the 50s. Oh, yes. Where you go? You know, all these Clark Gable. Then in the 70s, I'd say mid 70s-ish, Hollywood became sleaze. They just started making B movies, and the quality, people stopped taking them seriously. There was overacting. And then you got a whole new school. They called it New Hollywood. And they kind of rejuvenated the look, the feel of Hollywood. And those are people such as, what's his name? Steven Spielberg, George Lucas. These guys were all part of the New Hollywood, which brought Hollywood. People took Hollywood seriously again. But there was a brief period where it just lost its luster. And now I feel like we're back to losing its luster. I don't know. Maybe you guys have seen a good movie at the movies recently. But I love this director, and his last name is Palm, but in Spanish. And we already looked at the word palmadita and other things like that. All right. Next up, this person was born in 1965, an American singer, songwriter, and musician. His real name is Richard Melville Hall. Nobody knows that. Nobody calls him that. He's an animal rights activist, and you might know a lot of his songs. He's got, I'm trying to think now, well, basically his single Go, which came out in 1991, was his breakthrough album. And he's worked with so many artists. He also, since he was there in the early days, he was responsible for making electronic music, one of the people responsible for making electronic music as popular as it is today. And last but not least, this guy told us, I can't change because I'm here in my mode. I am here in my mode because I'm a million different people from one day to the next. I can't change my mode. I love that band, The Verve. The guy is the lead singer and songwriter of the group The Verve, who swing bittersweet. They sing, not swing. They sing Bittersweet Symphony, Lucky Man, The Drugs Don't Work. If you've never listened to The Verve, they've got some amazing songs. In fact, I'm going to listen to them today when I'm preparing tomorrow's script. All right. We've got a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, our birthday queen is Chris Valro. Happy birthday to Brian De Palma. Moby, that's right, and Richard Ashcroft from the group The Verve. And tomorrow, you know whose birthday it is? My daughter's. It's Laura's birthday tomorrow. But let's see, we've got our Say What soundbite. This is Richard Ashcroft from The Verve. And he was saying how people expected him to live like a rock star and not care about anything. So they kept asking him, so you're a father, huh? So you're a father, like, why is that so hard to believe? It's normal. People have kids. People get married. Saying like, why am I not playing the rock star role because I'm a caring father? Right? That's kind of what the interview was about. So he goes, ask me about being a father. He goes, me preguntan sobre ser padre. Once, but 1,000 times. Mil veces. He's like, come on. What's wrong? I'm a father like everybody else. Like many other people. He goes, it's like, that's what happens. We have children. We get married in that. Let's look at pasa. Where's the surprise here? Why are you asking me a question that's so basic? Like, so you're a father now? Uh-huh. And like, okay. And so he goes, we get married in that. And some of us have children, And I think I said to you earlier, but I truly believe we are entering the decade of promoting nihilism, which means caring about nothing, that rock star attitude. And he goes, and I wasn't adhering to the new script. Y yo no me ceñía no seguía ese nuevo guión. So there you go, folks. Richard Ashcroft, and he's going against the grain. No hace lo que hacen los demás. He goes against the grain. Let's hear Richard Ashcroft from The Verve.
Ask me about being a father once, but 1,000 times. It's like, that's what happens, we have children. We get married in that, and some of us have children, And I think I said to you earlier, but I truly believe that we were entering the decade of promoting nihilism, man. And I wasn't adhering to the new script.
All right, there you go. And do you guys like the way he says father? He goes, ask me about being a father. Father. Hey, that's what I'm not going to teach him how to pronounce. He knows how to pronounce just fine. But just know that a lot of people won't say it the way I say it, especially people from Richard Ashcroft's neck of the woods. So what have we got in today's Name That Lyric? Do you think it's a Verve song? Let's check it out.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And thank you, my amigos. Thank you for all your kind words. Thank you for your constant support. Thank you for listening to the show with no name. Thank you for listening to FYI, which, by the way, you've got some new episodes, and every Friday you've got a new one. Tomorrow, as I said, we've got a very special show because it's my daughter's birthday, so we'll be hearing from her on the show as well. Plus, we'll be playing games and having fun, as we always do, all while we learn English. So thank you. Don't forget about our question of the week. I want you guys to think about what you want to say, practice it a couple times, and then hit record. And you can send it to aalonso@grupovon.com. aalonso@grupovon.com. All right. And the question is, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? And why not start today? In some cases, you'll be able to. In some cases, you won't be able to. But I eagerly await your responses. Thank you so much, guys. And what do we have to do? Oh, name that lyric to say goodbye. It's, well, you know what? We don't have much time, so let me just tell you. It's Moby, and it's Porcelain. I know you know the song. We've all heard it. I didn't know if you know the title, Porcelana, Porcelain. But he says, in my dreams, I'm dying all the time. Muero a todos momentos. Then I wake. It's kaleidoscopic mind, como a kaleidoscope, donde ves todos los colores. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to lie. Buena estructura. Nunca quise hacerte daño. Nunca quise mentirte. So this is goodbye. Así que esto es adiós. And this is goodbye, folks. In today's show, I hope you had fun, and I hope you'll join us tomorrow for another exciting edition of the show with no name. This is Moby, Porcelain. I told you would know it. All right, folks. Ciao for now.